Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette Dad. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, drop me a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys. It goes a massive way to helping out the channel too. Now, this week we're on issue 36 of Stormbringer magazine, and this video is slightly later than normal, and that is just due to my work where I do my day job, having to relocate to a different place, and yeah, it's obviously, you can imagine, that just causes chaos and is very time consuming and tiring. So yeah, so a little bit later than expected, but we're here now, so I suppose we should crack on with it. So issue 36 comes with the Fungoid cave-shaman from the Gloomspite Gits range. A very interesting mini, a lot of detail on him as well, which is really cool, and obviously a new good old Grot leader, which is a pretty cool mini. Very interesting, and I am looking forward to painting him up. He should be really good fun and quite good to do so, and because it's unique, makes it even better. So happy days. Really good stuff there though. Going into this week's issue though, we're greeted by Kragos, the end of empires. Kragos is a monstrous deity of earthquakes and upheaval, who is said to embody the savagery of a realm of beasts. It is no wonder that his warlike spirit and violent rampages across Gur have attracted many orcs, grots, ogres and gargants to his side. For the forces of destruction see in him a kindred spirit. He revels in acts of violent mayhem, his thundering hooves split the ground asunder beneath his tread, his bestial roar shakes buildings to their very foundations, and in his mighty fist, the dread mace can shatter walls and topple fortifications in a single sweep. So, with Kragos, he is a very unique being within the mortal realms. He is one. There is only one of him. He is the last of his race, essentially, and the toughest of them all. So he has been around for a very long time, even since around the Age of Myth, where Kragos hails from a time long before Sigmar came to the realms, where gargantuan creatures such as the centaur-like Draguch and the reptilian Draconith roamed the lands. He ascended to godhood as he was worshipped by primitive orcs at the time, who paid him tributes of magical amberbone, and he grew in strength and stature, killed beasts and toppled nations in that time. The war in Gur, Kragos and his orc allies waged war upon the Draconith, and he was eventually defeated by Krontis and Karazai, who trapped him beneath a magical prison beneath the Twin Horn Peak. So, the Kragos, being in prison for a very long time, even all the way through pretty much the entirety of the Soul Wars, did actually kind of stay him off and stop him from causing too much destruction, especially against the realms of mortals. Alariel's right of life though had an unintended consequence where it actually weakened the prison where he was, and he was able to break free and start a new rampage across Gur. With that time, he laid siege to cities such as Excelsis, and he managed to smash down walls, but was then again defeated through the efforts of Morathi and Lord Croak, because magic can beat a creature back that is as destructive as he is. So he's very interesting though, a very unique mini as well. And one, if you are going to go for a Forces of Destruction, I recommend you get, because he is tough as hell. He is an absolute unit to try and bring down. So really good stuff and quite good fun as well. Moving on though, we get more information to do with the Realm of Chaos, and this time it's Blight City. So beyond the confines of reality lies the abominable Blight City, a nightmarish metropolis and home of the Skaven. Blight City is the sprawling capital of the Skaven Under Empire. The polluted air is filled with the chittering of thousands of labourers, the screech of warpstone drills, and the grinding of great wheels as the Skaven go about their foul industry. So, if you're unaware, what the Skaven have a tendency of doing is they utilise a lot of kind of ingenuity, very primitive ingenuity, but ingenuity nonetheless. They love having quite these dastardly devices of spreading plagues, causing chaos, damage, destruction, killing, and everything like that. And they absolutely love Warpstone. Warpstone is the pure, essentially kind of like the pure essence of chaos in a lot of ways, and they absolutely go nuts for it, which is why they are mutants in the long run. And yeah, they utilize a lot of that in a lot of their devices, including things like the gnaw holes, which they utilize to kind of develop ways into different places and different realms from within the Blight City and the surrounding area and stuff like that. And so they can just kind of come out and yeah, be an absolute nuisance to whoever lives nearby. So really, really good stuff, but quite interesting as well. Moving on though, we get information about the Great Horned Rat as well. So the Great Horned Rat is the god of the Skaven. He is worshipped, revealed, and immortalized essentially by the Skavens. They absolutely love him. He is a super giant rat in a long way, and he is the patron god of the Satan. He's verminous children. He kind of instructs to utilize their boundless cunning and ambition and schemes, and yeah, and that's kind of him all over. There are other giant rats that you can get, so you can get things like the Warseer, I think it is, and such like, and you can have this one major kit which gives you a Great Horned Rat essentially, but it is not the Great Horned Rat. It is one of the actual kind of ones that live within the realm of chaos throughout the old times and stuff like that as well. So really quite interesting, quite unique. If you want more information about him, there is from the End Times, the Book of Skaven, which is really, really good fun and quite interesting to read or use a lot, get on Audible or anything like that, because the Ratkin absolutely love him, fear him, and worship him all at exactly the same time. So good stuff. Then we get our page for the Fungoid cave-shaman. So the crackling and gibbering of the Fungoid cave-shaman is followed by eruptions of powerful, if unpredictable, magical powers. These usually take the form of gnashing green jaws, leering fungus moons, or phantasmal cave squigs that bite at the Fungoid cave shaman's enemies. So, being a shaman, he is essentially a prophet of Mork as well, and utilizes magical abilities to sow destruction in his wake. Very interesting though, and obviously you can do your usual with this page. You can name him, you can give him his lunatic leadership abilities and such like. Pretty damn cool, I quite like it. It's a very, very interesting mini, which is what I always like. Then we got a how to build guide. How to build guide is generally fairly easy. You could go wrong with it, but hopefully you won't. But there's not a lot of parts to it, so it should be fairly simple and straightforward. Then carrying on even further, our how to paint guide. So obviously starting off with a bad and black, get your yellows in there, you're going to get your greens in there as well, Catachan flesh and much more. You can make this guy look absolutely nuts, bonkers, and you can have him looking pretty damn cool. And yeah, and that's even before he's actually fully finished. There will be other colours to add later on, but it's really good. It does actually look really, really good, and it's a very nice, well done paint scheme in a mass of 33 steps. Moving on though, we get more rules, obviously for information to do with how to utilise battalions within your games of Warhammer. So battalions make things easier. You can get actual war scrolls for battalions, which basically help break down the organisation, units and abilities and such like within that actual battalion itself. You can utilise battalions within the army builder on the app as well, so which is always really cool, and you'll have a little bit more of that as well. So you also get information about this kind of tactics, how to utilise the tactics, including your killer boss with Stab Grot, and the Swamp Caller Shaman with his Pot Grot, and how you can utilise their tactics and more. Then we've got our War Scroll for the Fungoid Cave Shaman. He is relatively squishy, 5 wounds, you know, a 6+ save, which is quite tough. But yeah, he's pretty cool, he's very interesting, and yeah, he is obviously a wizard, so he does have some wizardy abilities. But yeah, but really good stuff, and yeah, pretty damn cool. I genuinely like the mini. I think it's a really good mini. Whether I utilise him in an army, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, genuinely a cool one, so happy days. And then we've got our battle for the week. Our battle, obviously utilising the Fungoid cave-shaman, killer boss with stab grot, 20 shooters, 10 gut rippers, and our marsh crawler slog off. Going up against the Knight Arcanum, Arch Revenant, 5 Vigilors, 5 Vindictors, and a Stormstrike chariot. And it's fairly straightforward. 3 objectives, literally smash into each other, capture the objectives, hold them, and gain victory points. Obviously, 5 rounds. You'll have fun. Most victory points at the end of it is yeah, how you win. So good stuff. Then moving on, next week we have Ulthari's Guardians, another warband for the Warhammer Underworlds, and it is our first of the good old Sylvaneth warbands, and Sylvaneth, proper Sylvaneth units. A really good kit. One I must admit I've never had before, and I'm quite interested to get in hold of. Then we get more Vindictors, so obviously you can do these differently how you did your last ones. Entirely up to you though, but pretty cool stuff, and more of our good old Stormcast Eternal reinforcements, which is always very needed. But other than that, yeah, we've got a lot to look forward to. Issues 39 through to 41, we've got the Tree Lord coming up and such like, which is a really cool unit, and I must admit, one, it's going to be really hard to get hold of, because I can imagine loads of scalpers are going to go after it, but really good stuff. Right, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. Next week's video should be on time, I imagine, I hope. So yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye bye now.